They told me that I should terminate the pregnancy because of the state of Louisiana's abortion ban. They could not perform the procedure. Basically, they said I had to carry my baby to bury my baby.
This story is heartbreaking on the abortion front, and although mainstream media has not been talking as much about the overturning of Roe v. Wade at the hands of the Supreme Court of the United States of America, that decision is continuing to and will continue to, until the Congress answers the call, have a ripple effect for women and their families all across this country. So this story, this tragic story, is exactly what the GOP wanted. They want to be able to control the moves that women make with their bodies with respect to childbirth. And so we have a woman from Louisiana, and she is a black woman, and she is being forced because of Louisiana's law to bring a fetus to term, a fetus that has some deficiencies with its skull, and once born would not be viable. And so this woman, Miss Davis is her last name, has to make a decision whether she takes that baby to term and then have to bury her baby almost immediately. No woman should have to face this. But this is what the GOP wanted. This is what they wanted. And it is definitely cruel and unusual punishment.
I want you to imagine what it's been like to continue this pregnancy for another 6 weeks after this diagnosis. This is not fair to me, and it should not happen to any other woman.
So we're going to watch this video of Nancy Davis at the state capitol talking about her condition. And I want to quote her, quote, "I had to carry my baby to bury my baby," end quote.
Basically, they said I had to carry my baby to bury my baby.
She is being denied abortion access because of what the Supreme Court of the United States did and what states have subsequently done because of the overturning of Roe.
They seemed confused about the law and afraid of what would happen to them if they performed a criminal abortion according to the law. Now I am preparing to go out of state for this procedure next week.
And she is being forced to carry a non-viable fetus to term because she cannot get abortion access in her home state. Just gut-wrenching, what Ms. Davis had to say, and she certainly stands in the ready for many, many women across this country who are facing the same hardships when it comes to not being able to control the decision of what they will do or will not do with their bodies. And in the case of Ms. Davis, to have to carry a non-viable fetus to term is not only sad and tragic, it is immoral. Now, according to The Guardian, she has made the decision to cross state lines. Again, should not have to do this, but cross state lines going into the state of North Carolina to have the abortion procedure. Monies have been raised to help her be able to do this. But we are relegating, think about this, relegating working class women to having not only to cross state lines. Everybody can't cross state lines. They didn't necessarily have the money to be able to do this like Ms. Davis didn't. So people have to fundraise to help her do this. But why should people have to hold fundraisers to be able to have access to a medical procedure? It makes no sense whatsoever. But this is what the GOP wanted. They have been working overtime for decades to get this country to this point. And so far, they are winning. It is very traumatic. Just in the first place, traumatic. And for Ms. Davis and her, particular situation, even that much more. That she has to, one, endure the fact that the fetus is not viable. That's number one. Two, the condition of the fetus. And then three, have to wrestle with the state, with government, over whether or not she can have an abortion. So she is going to go. She cemented that. She's going to North Carolina to do this, to have this procedure. But this is not the way that it should go. And Ms. Davis is the personification of millions of women in this country who are going to have to endure this unless Congress acts. and they need to act very quickly. There is something that Congress can do about this. And what Congress should do is codify Roe. They should wholesale get rid of the filibuster for many, many reasons, notwithstanding Roe v. Wade. Just get rid of it. But if they don't have the spine to get rid of it right now in this moment, then they need to go ahead and do a carve out to be able to deal with this so that women across this country don't have to endure this kind of pain. We really are regressing in this country when it comes to the ability to be able to control one's own body. We're regressing in this country on voting rights. We're regressing in this country on workers' rights. We're regressing on a whole bunch of stuff. But let this be yet one more reminder. Many of you know that in my great state, a 10-year-old was going to be forced to bring a baby to term, raped. Baby herself. She had to be taken over state lines, and that didn't even motivate these mofos into action. We have a problem in the United States of America, and we must rectify this problem. So Congress is not helpless. The Supreme Court of the United States of America overturned Roe v. Wade. Ball is in the court of the Congress to do something about it, and they can do something about it. So I want you to get engaged and continue to push. Just because we're not talking about the overturning of Roe as intensely as we once was as a country, and what I mean by that on the national media scene, mainstream media, because we're talking about it here on TYT, does not mean that we cannot get engaged, that we should not be engaged, that we should not continue to push. We must continue to push to get the change that we want. It's not going to happen by accident. It's going to happen on purpose, and it's going to happen because of our action. So Congress, the ball is in your court. Do something.